It's July 27th or 28th. It's past midnight. I just watched a little bit before then, but Avatar: The Last Airbender, or Aang: The Last Airbender, the animated film. This means something to me. It's so good. Oh my! It's so beautiful. It's stylistic. It's fluid, and it's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like I've been missing out. We have been blessed with something beautiful, and the show was released 20 years ago, and we finally got the movie. You know, it's so good. Now, I did have my quaints about the live action Last Airbender series, but after seeing this movie, I'm like, guys, I think we hit the formula. New stories that fit in the universe, and we take the direction that it's animated. Now, I didn't get to watch it in cinemas. I don't live in America, and from what I hear, there's only 2 cinemas it's been released to, and they're in America. So I don't really plan on flying out. I don't have that much of a deep pocket, but hey, I still really enjoyed it. It's beautiful, and I love it. And, it's not perfect, but it's the best Avatar content we've gotten in a long time. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because I enjoy reading the comic books as well. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, it's so good, and all I want to do is I want more. And it doesn't even have to be Aang. Maybe just more like animations. And we do have the upcoming Seven Havens, but right now I'm gonna talk about Aang, The Last Airbender. First off, from the get-go, from the start, beautiful, beautiful. And we see the conflict, okay? And it's Aang being the last of his people. That sucks. Airbending is like central to it, and he's the last one until he meets up with this new guy, Taga. And I gotta say this, I think the voice work is excellent. And hearing Taga's voice, I was kind of contemplating, like, is that Dave Bautista? Is that Drax? He sounds like it, and I think he did a fantastic job playing, this bulky, comforting character. But he turns out to actually be the bad guy. I will say I kind of saw that coming along, but it wasn't terrible. Was it a bit predictable that he was going to be the big bad villain? Yeah, but still, I think it was a great character. He's like showing this parallel towards Aang. Aang's a air nomad, and his whole ideals on not taking a life and all that, and wanting to bring peace to everyone, bring balance to everything. That was a big theme, balance, as it was in the show. But this one's more central to him because it's his culture, his people. It's cool seeing the old gang back together. Suki wasn't there, but then I'm thinking about it, considering this movie's like an hour and a half, I think. I don't really know what role she would even play. I like how elements from the original shows are still there. The humor. Sokka being this capable warrior, but he's also a comedy relief character, but not one you get sick of. You can never get sick of Sokka. Zuko, he's there. I recognize the voice. That's the guy from The Walking Dead. Wow, I've forgotten his name. Stephen Liu. No, it's not. What's his name? Stephen Liu. Stephen Yoon. My goodness, that's embarrassing. I don't know who the voice of Aang was. I think they did a good job. And also the same thing for Toph, Katara, Sokka. I don't know who voiced them, but they did a good job. And yeah, I thought it was excellent. Part of me did think during the movie, like, the staff is going to get destroyed or something like that because, well, I've seen Korra. Kind of got spoiled for that, but no airbenders. Tenzin's the last one until, spoilers if you haven't seen Korra. The harmonic convergence, the whole Zahir thing, more airbenders, that kind of thing. I would have loved to see that. But yeah, it is a fun journey. It is something that I think every Last Airbender fan will enjoy. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's also so beautiful. How many times have I said beautiful? When the mountain explodes, Aang's falling down, trying to save Targa, who's unconscious. That whole motion, it's so fluid, the movement. And I love how satisfying that is to watch. There were some things I didn't understand, like how could Targa hold up the mountain when Aang couldn't? I get that he's supposedly the stronger airbender, but Aang is still a master, and he reached that at 12. So, and I felt like the Avatar state was a bit depowered, so not depowered, just a little nerfed, so conflicts wouldn't be resolved like that. But then I remember in Korra, they like stated the reason why bending felt much weaker compared to the original show. It's because like they wanted to feel more gritty, a bit more realistic. No. I think gritty and something to fit like the show getting more dark. And Aang, the Last Airbender, kind of did that. So you don't see these over the top feats that they performed in the 2005 Last Airbender series. You see more bending akin to Korra, the Legend of Korra. But there was some pretty over the top impressive feats. There was, I think, from the gang, the most impressive was probably Katara, like splitting the ocean. That was quite something. And, I said this before, it was predictable, Targa changing or switching sides or being the actual big villain. Because he dropped hints along the way, including like him immediately going after Toph or him questioning Aang on why he befriends the Fire Lord, the guy that took down his people and all that. But again, it all works together in the bigger picture. I'm not talking just the movie, but it works as a movie that fits between The Last Airbender and Korra. So continuity isn't broken. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. I've said that way too many times. I want to watch more of this kind of thing. I hate that I watched it not in cinemas. And if I had the choice to watch in cinemas, take my money, Paramount. Take my money, whichever movie theater I'm going to. I would have loved to watch it in cinemas, but unfortunately, that wasn't an option. It would have been really cool, but unfortunately, it wasn't an option. I know there was leaks and all that. One of my closest friends, he's like one of my best friends, he is an animator, and it would kind of feel like I'm spitting on him and his work if I watched the leak. So I waited until, I didn't get to watch it 2 days ago, but I waited until today, and yeah, I watched the Avatar Last Airbender, Aang, the Last Airbender movie, and I want more. I need more of that stuff. It's fantastically done, and I'm sure it could have gone on for longer. We could have explored a bit more of the denied, but we don't need to. This is Aang's story and his conflict with being alone. But he's not alone. He has his family, he has his friends, and he has people that he has air acolytes, people from the Legend of Korra series, is that wish to live lives of air nomads, and it's an open door. Anyone can become that, and Aang is very much open to teaching. Also, that end credit scene, it was nice seeing that. That was nice. We see artworks of the gang together in their 20s. I actually don't know how old they are. I did hear that I think it was a scrapped idea, but they're going to do it where Katara was pregnant, but that was a scrapped idea. Maybe there's another movie. I don't think there's going to be another movie because it got leaked, and since it got leaked, people are probably going to be discouraged on working another, and Paramount is probably going to be discouraged from funding another movie. Yeah, that sucks, but to the guy who leaked, you did not solve the problem. Screw you. I think what they were trying to do is I remember I saw this theory and I thought that kind of makes sense. It rings true. But they have K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't think it was ever planned. Maybe it was, but I don't think it was ever planned to go on cinemas. But it did so well on streaming and on Netflix and streaming that they decided to put it into cinemas, and it worked out so well for them. I think Paramount had probably the same idea. If it performed really well on streaming, they would send it to cinemas. But then there was the leak, and then they finally released it on streaming. But there was the leak beforehand, so many people had already seen the movie. And then from the leak to the release date, I don't know, was it 2 months or something? So it was 2 months of people watching it on websites where they had it leaked and everything. So yeah, it sucks that we may not see any Avatar Last Airbender projects in a long, long time, especially if it's movies. We do have the upcoming Seven Havens series. I'm very excited to watch that. But yeah, I'm just here spitballing my appreciation for this movie because I love The Last Airbender. My earliest memories was borrowing it from when Blockbuster was a thing. Yeah. I would always like if I couldn't find anything to watch, maybe if there was no Power Rangers, if there was no Pokemon, then my go-to would be returning constantly back to The Last Airbender. And I was always psyched. It's a show that my entire family loves and enjoys. And that's rare to find. In my household, just a show that we all collude, we all decide, yeah, this is a fantastic watch. And yeah, I would like to see more Toph related stuff. I have her comic books, the Metal Bending Academy, and so it's cool to see that in the movie. And it's cool to see that she hasn't changed. Toph is still toffing around. I get that it was a short time frame, so some of these characters couldn't shine as much as they could have, like with Toph, like with Zuko, or with Sokka. Katara did have her moments because Aang would always lean on her shoulder. They are partners in life. But yeah, I would have liked to see them shine more. But regardless, I am more than satisfied. I'm actually like full from what I've seen on the screen at Aang the Last Airbender. It's a great, fun, colorful, beautiful watch, and I'm sorry to the animators who were victims of that leak. I'm sorry to anyone else working on production for that movie for the leak, and that you guys should have been treated better with a cinema release worldwide. By the way, but that's pretty much all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a good one.